here I have a quarter cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and my yeast is proofing, or has proofed. Now, I use instant yeast, which technically doesn't need to be proofed, but just to make sure my yeast is live, I go ahead and proof it before adding it to my mixture. Here is where it gets a little tricky. You want to add your flour a little at a time until it gets the right consistency. I didn't add all the flour, and so now I'm going to stop it and see exactly what the consistency of my dough is before I start adding more flour. So as you can see, this dough is a little sticky, so I'm going to add another cup of flour. So here I've added the other extra cup of flour, and it's still a little sticky, but it's a better consistency and it does pull away from the side of the bowl easily, so that is good. So now I'm going to take this out and put it in another bowl so that I can put some oil in the bottom of my mixing bowl. I've already got 2 dirty bowls. I'm not going to dirty another bowl just to have my my dough rise. So I rise it in the same bowl. I just add some oil in the bottom of my mixing bowl. Once I've added the oil, I put the dough back into the mixing bowl and make sure that it's covered in oil. I add a little more just to make sure that it's covered. And then I'm going to cover the bowl with cling wrap and sit it on my stove so that it can rise for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. So obviously, I forgot to turn on my camera once I turn the dough out onto the floured surface of my work table. So here you see it where I've already rolled it out. And now I am going to cover it in melted butter. Well, that's just softened, and then I realized I better go ahead and melt it. So I'm going to go ahead and melt the butter in the microwave. Good evening, YouTube. Lovely Black Butterfly here for another recipe. And I don't want to say this is a mukbang, because it's really not. I just wanted to show you guys the finished product of the recipe. This is the cinnamon roll. And, oh, where's my fork? It is very ooey and gooey. And I just warmed it up real quick in the microwave. As you see, I'm not even sitting at a table. I'm actually sitting at my desk. I have to start work in approximately 30 minutes. I've got my nice hot cup of cappuccino. And just to give you a little insight on what I got going on for Thanksgiving. What I was going to try to do, I was going to try to take Lizzie Lou's sheet pan Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, the only thing I know, I can't do that kind of work in 30 minutes. Look, I'm old. Lizzie Lou what? In her 20s, I'm twice as old as her. I can't do that in 30 minutes. So, however much time it take me, that's how much time it's going to take me. But the majority of my sides, yes, I'm going to try to do it on the sheet pan like she did. The only thing, I've got the ham separate. I've got a sweet potato pie that's going to be separate. And I haven't decided on the cabbage. I really like cabbage and ham. And I have a cabbage that I want to cook. So, I mean, I have this thing about having cabbage, ham, and candy yams. As long as I got those, I'm good to go. The cinnamon roll is so good. And it pairs perfectly with my coffee just before I start a day of work, or a night of work rather. That cappuccino is still really hot, so so far what I have planned to cook, of course, the ham, which you saw. I'm going to do a dressing, but I'm taking a shortcut on that. Even though I'm cooking the giblets and I'm going to cut up the onions and celery and all of that, I'm actually using the stovetop cornbread stuffing as my base. I just didn't feel like making cornbread. And I think I'm gonna do a green bean casserole. I mean, it's just not Thanksgiving without a green bean casserole. Macaroni and cheese. Of course, like I said, the cabbage. Okay. So the ham, cabbage, the stuffing, macaroni and cheese, green bean casserole. I think that's about it. And oh yeah, and of course I'm making. I don't know if I said the candy yams, and I'm making a sweet potato pie. You know what? I still right at this moment don't know if I'm gonna do both the candy yams and the sweet potato pie. I may just do the sweet potato pie and let that suffice as my sweet potatoes to go along with my ham. I still haven't decided because I have both fresh sweet potatoes and I have some frozen cut up sweet potatoes. And at first I was just gonna use those to make some candy yams. And then I was like, no, I kind of want the sweet potato pie. So, this is my last night of work for the week. Well, not really for the week because I have to come back Saturday to work. But after I get off in the morning, I'm off Thursday and Friday, and I go back Saturday night at 9:45. I work 2 hours of overtime, and this is my break in between my overtime and my regular shift. So I actually started work tonight at 7 till 9. I'm going. And then I take a 45-minute break before my real shift begins. So that's what I'm doing now. This is my break. Nice break with coffee and a nice hot cinnamon roll. So you'll see me in a couple of days to see how my Thanksgiving went. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Until next time, lovely black butterflies spreading my wings. Okay, so as you can see, I'm already on deck for Thanksgiving. Here is my ham. And I know y'all probably wondering, why does she have an 11-pound ham just for herself? But the thing is, guys, I really like ham. I already been picking at it. I like ham. So I get a ham like this. I cook it up, heat it up, because basically it's already cooked. It's fully cooked. But I heat it up, and then once it's heated up, I put some of it in the freezer for later. And I have ham and eggs, ham, egg, and croissant sandwiches. or just a ham sandwich. So I put some in the freezer, ham and biscuits. So I put some in the freezer after I've had my share for dinner, and I take it out when I want some ham. So that's my Thanksgiving ham. Then I've also got my giblets, my chicken livers and chicken gizzards simmering on the stove to make a nice stock for my dressing. Plus the giblets gonna go in the dressing, plus giblet gravy. So that's already on deck as well. And then I've also got my sweet potatoes. They're washed and wrapped, ready to go in the oven for my sweet potato pies. I know most people like to boil their sweet potatoes for pies, but I like to bake my sweet potatoes. It keeps all the natural juices in the potatoes, and makes the pies naturally sweet, so you don't have to use so much sugar. So those are ready to go in the oven for the pies.